The adoption of the Horizon 2047 roadmap has further solidified our shared vision for the next 25 years. Bilateral trade between India and France in our financial year 2024 ended on March 31st reached 15 billion US dollars, with Indian exports at about 7 billion and imports at about 8 billion. Pretty much a balanced trade. Yet, if I may dare say, something which is quite suboptimal, given the strength of our two economies, something which we should collectively aspire to grow much bigger, much better, much faster. And I'm convinced that these numbers only tell a very small part of the story of our relationship. The true strength of our partnership lies in trust. We are both trusted partners to each other, and that will strengthen our continued engagement in investments, both sides, with Indian industry going to France and French manufacturing coming to India, our services working with each other to greater impact, the global capability centers that are coming in good measure to set up shop in India and leverage from the attractiveness of Indian talent, affordability of Indian operations, the ability as we move forward to co-innovate, to improve our innovation landscape between the two countries, and the possibilities that we can see through knowledge exchange and knowledge partnerships, academia partnerships, university partnerships. France is India's 11th largest foreign direct investor with an inflow of about 11 billion so far, but again a figure which portends a lot more potential in the future. The presence of over 750 French companies and 70 Indian companies working in France exemplify our deep economic integration. I do believe, again, there is huge scope on both sides for Indian businesses to look at engaging with France and vice versa. Collectively, about 500,000 people are being engaged in these companies which work across the borders, contributing significantly to employment generation and skill development in India, and also providing opportunities for many French nationals to come and understand the India growth story and the potential it holds in the next 25 years as we, in our Amrit Kal, the golden period as we call it, we move from a $3.5 trillion fifth largest economy in the world to a $5 trillion third largest economy in the world by 2027, and then onwards to become an economy almost 10 times our size today, a $35 trillion economy when we celebrate 100 years of independence in 2047. Friends, our nations are paving the way for collaboration across diverse sectors, some of which I would like to expand. One, agriculture and food processing. We have a number of possibilities to share innovative ideas towards the food security, not only of our two nations, but the food security of the world. And I think sustainable practices coming into agriculture can certainly have an impact on our global efforts to make the world a better place to live in, to save the world from the huge impact that climate change and the detrimental stories that we are hearing across the world about the changing climate and uncertainties that are emerging. Number two, renewable energy. also a part of our effort towards a sustainable world in the future, has huge potential for joint partnerships between France and India. It is no mean achievement that the India Solar Alliance, the International Solar Alliance, co-sponsored by France and India, has been a runaway success. I don't have the latest number, but last count I remember it had over 100 countries across the world who had taken membership of the International Solar Alliance, and that also continues to spearhead our global renewable energy partnership between France and India and with other countries across the world. I do believe, and incidentally I was the minister in charge of that project when this was launched in 2015 in Paris during COP21, and I do believe that some of the ideas that we had at that point of time exchanged and since then worked on or expanded upon hold a lot of potential, particularly to work together to take clean energy and renewable energy to those parts of the world, particularly the less developed countries and the emerging markets, less developing countries, so that they also can play their part in making the world a safer place to live in. Number 3, on aerospace and defense, we have a significant partnership. I would dare say that India is the world's largest aviation market as we speak. And the number of planes that India has on order, close to about 1,500 are already on order. We have options that could take them to about 2,000. And I can see for the next 3 decades, the Indian aviation market will be the world's largest demand aggregator for aeroplanes. And I would suspect that it would be in the best interests also of French companies to look at Indian manufacturing possibilities, to look at expanding their own sales in India for both aircrafts, the spare parts for aircrafts, the MROs and all the other associated industry along with the aviation sector.